Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello viewers, welcome once again to my channel. Returning to our PowerPoints and particularly preparation for SATs and Grammar School 11 Plus examinations. We're looking at another calculation, which is the mean from a table. So tables, as you can see, come in various forms, but this is not the type of table that we are talking about. Okay, so by way of starter, I've got two questions here just to recap on the normal way of calculating mean. So as always, I will pause this for 5 seconds and then start revealing the answers. So I shall pause so that you have chance to freeze the screen. Okay, so I'm about to reveal the answer. So to calculate the mean, we just merely need to add up the total and divide it by the number of games. So the total goals is 21, and there were 10 games played, so 21 divided by 10 is 2.1 goals per game. Okay, although it isn't possible to get 0.1 of a goal, but that's averages for you. So after the next game, their average goal per game is 2. How many goals did they score? So if it's one more game, then it's going to be 11 games, and the total number of goals is 22 because the average has gone to 2. 11 times 2 is 22. Okay, so they must have scored another goal to take the total from 21 to 22. Okay, so I hope you were able to get those. Okay, so we've seen how to calculate the mean from a set of numbers. Very often we need to calculate the mean from, a lot of information, large sets of numbers or data, which is the other word. So in this case we need to reduce that long list, and the only way that we can do it is put it in a table format. So in this lesson today, we're going to be learning how to calculate the mean from a large set of data which has been put into a table format. So to work out the mean of a set of data, what do I need to do? I hear you ask. Well, I add the numbers up and divide by how many. So there are two numbers that you will need. So if we do this as an example, mean number of crisps, what do you think we need? So just pause for 5 seconds so that you can think about it. Okay, have you thought about that? Well, we need the total number of crisps and we need the total number of packets. What about the mean number of spots on a ladybird? And then the next one, rainfall per day, and the final one, mean goals in a game over a season. So again, I'll pause for you to have a think about that. Okay, so looking at the ladybirds, we need the total spots, and we need to know how many ladybirds there are. And as far as rainfall is concerned, it's obviously a time period, so total number of days, and of course the amount of rain that fell. And we've already done the goals. We need the total goals and the number of games that were played over the season. Okay. So if we look at this table summarizes the number of spots on a ladybird. So we're going to calculate the mean using this data. So to work out the mean, the number of spots on the ladybird, we need to know, as we've already established, total number of spots and then divide it by the number of ladybirds. So where is this information? Well, it's in the table, as you know. So we need this information. So if you look at that, that tells you how many times two spotted ladybirds were recorded. So three ladybirds had 2 spots, 5 ladybirds had 3 spots, and so on. Okay, so that is the total number of ladybirds. We simply add that up, and that comes to 16. So to get the total number of ladybirds, we simply add up the frequency column. So where's the information for the total number of spots? So we know that 3 ladybirds had 2 spots, so that makes 6 spots. 3 times 2 is of course 6. And then 5 of them had 3 spots, so that is 15 spots. And so on. Okay, so now we need to do a total of these numbers, which is 6, 15 and 24. Sorry, I missed off 10. Okay, that comes to 55. And we can actually add another column. So these were the calculations that we did. So the way to do it is frequency multiplied by the number of spots. So 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 5 is 15, 4 times 6 is 24, 5 times 2 is 10. And we simply add those, and that gives us the total number of spots. So these ladybirds, these 16 ladybirds, have 55 spots in altogether. So now we can calculate the average or the mean. So that is the total ladybirds, and that is the total spots. Okay, so if we divide 55 by 16, the answer is 3.4. Okay, another one. So calculate the mean height of the tulips using this data. So I'll pause it for 5 seconds, so those of you that have understood it can do it straight away. Okay, so we need the same similar sort of information. Firstly, we need a total height, and we need the number of tulips. So that's where that information is, the number of tulips, and we're simply going to add that up, and that is 18. Okay, and to get the total number, we merely multiply height by frequency. So that's 9, 90, 10 times 9 is 90, 11 times 4 is 44, 12 times 2 is 24, 13 times 2 is 26, and if we add those up, it comes to 193. So to get the average, we're going to divide 193 by 18. And our answer is 10.7. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the session almost, but as always there are 2 here for you to try. So we've got 2 sets of batteries, Energizer and Duramel, and your job is to calculate which is the better buy. So pause again for 5 seconds so that you can freeze the screen and do the calculations. Okay guys, sorry I was a bit lazy not doing a table for the answer, but here is the answer. So if you do the total frequency which is given, then that comes to 25 for Bennerizer, and the lifetime times frequency, which of course is 3 times 2, 4 times 5, 5 times 6, 6 times 8, and 7 times 4, which is 28, and that total comes to 132. And similarly with the Duramel, the frequency, we just add up the numbers, they come to 24, and the lifetime times frequency, 8 times 3, 4 times 2, 5 times 3, 6 times 2, and 7 times 9, which is a total of 122. So based on this information, the Bennerizer is the better battery. Okay viewers, so that brings us to the end of this session. So by way of summary, we've seen how to calculate the mean from a table. We've recapped what certain numbers in the table represent or mean, and we have seen how this can be used to compare data or information. Okay, thank you very much. That just remains for me to thank you once again, and make the plea, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Please tell all your friends, family, relatives, colleagues, anybody that you come into contact with about the channel. So until the next time, I shall say goodbye. Look after yourselves, look after others. अपना ख्याल रखना, दूसरों का ख्याल रखना, दुआओं में याद रखना। अल्लाह हाफिज़।